within the top 5, your very existence is a cauldron of pressure. And that is ratcheted up when you go on the road. And this highly ranked squad has found itself coming into a snake pit in this one. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the LSU Fighting Tigers, Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the Miami Hurricanes, taking on the winners of 3 straight, the LSU Tigers. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. LSU ready to kick it away to get things started. On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Fires to the wideout. Got his man downfield. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41. You get a guy who can do that on the outside, and is sort of in the DNA of Miami's program.
Yeah, just speed. Those are guys that put fear in you. Those are the track stars. The Sunshine State produces so many of them. Those guys can absolutely fly.
Wants to throw on first down. He makes a grab, and he will score! Touchdown, Hurricanes!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Dropping back, it's Cornelius. That one never had a chance. Incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. He breaks a tackle. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Now facing a 3rd and long.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down. And the Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. To the air on first down. Makes the grab. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Offense gets set for 2nd down. They go to the ground. There he goes. Good pickup there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
That's a really nice run. One thing I love about him is he's got versatility. He reminds me of a guy I used to play against back in the day, Kevin Falk. He could catch the ball, he could run the ball, he could block, he returned kicks. He did everything for the LSU Tigers, and this guy, he's got that ability too. So many different tools in his toolbox.
Firing to the right, complete. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. Got to the defender, was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the first.
Inside the 30 at the 29, it's a first down. Back to throw, it's Cornelius. It's complete to the left. Put it right on him. Sweet play, good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the first down.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. They'll try the run. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
All right, guys, that's not a home run type play, but he did enough there to keep the chains moving.
Keeping it on the ground on first and goal. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And this offense knew coming into the game, when they get to the red zone, it's going to be tough sledding because it's hard to run, especially against this physical defense. They're one of the top 5 defenses stopping the run. And you know at this area of the field, it's really tough to throw.
Touchdown, LSU! The offense puts up 6 for that trip to the end zone. Looking for the time with the extra point.
And Reese, this is the part of the field where the tight ends become such a big part, right? The big size, I'm going to isolate these guys, find a way to get good matchups. You can tell they did it there, and the result, 6 points.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. They had to stand by and watch that scoring march, and now it's up to them to find a way to answer it. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down.
You got to give the O-line a lot of credit there because it gave the receiver time to work all the way across the field on the drag route against zone coverage. Quarterback gets it to him. He's able to turn it up and get a first down.
In a competitive conference like the SEC, you just can't afford to start 0-1 if you want to chase a championship. Really important to get off to a good start.
No doubt, in the SEC, you've got to set the tone early. It's all about creating momentum out of the gate. Both of these teams had this game circled all offseason, David. They know what's riding on the line.
There's so much riding on the line.
It's a fumble on the play. That football must be riveted to your rib cage. How can you let it go? At least they fell on it.
Doesn't it always seem like that ball is on the ground for like 30 seconds? You got 17 guys running at it in slow motion. Like, I got to get the football. Offense, very lucky to get that football back.
They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. They just needed a few inches, and the defense knocked them down in the backfield.
Well, you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. That time, the defense called it at the perfect time. The linebacker able to make the stop on a short game.
And from the offense's perspective, that's probably making a little something out of nothing. Now on 4th down and 5, they'll try to move the chains. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And the incomplete pass, they roll the dice. Snake eyes.
That's a great job there by the defense here early in this game, getting a huge stop, and they've got an opportunity to make the opponent pay. Offense taking over now in great field position. Let's see what they can do here from a play-calling standpoint to try to put some points on the board.
Death Valley has a well-earned rep of being intimidating. It is nice to be the quarterback, to have everything on your side.
And have everything quiet. It's the loudest place by far that I ever played. I mean, for an entire game, they are on their feet, yelling, screaming. Now listen, we can't play all the words they're yelling, Reese, but they are an intimidating crowd.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Wants to throw. It's Cornelius. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a 3rd down stop. Now looks as if they'll settle for the field goal try. It's good. Easy call for the refs. And with that field goal, they now have the lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Hey, guys, we've got a final in a game that just wrapped up here in the SEC. Florida sparkled today in a dominant road win. In fact, by the fourth quarter, it almost felt like this game was being played in the swamp. That's how much they took that crowd out of it. An SEC clash and an impressive showing that could be a huge confidence builder for this program. Back to you.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Through his hands and incomplete. He normally makes that catch every time. It's second down.
Well, the receiver did everything right. He ran a good route. He got his head around. He just didn't finish the play. Just look at him.
The give to the tailback. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
On a big third down, love the discipline by the defense there. You got everybody with their eyes on the quarterback, rallying to the football, showing good speed on D. Nice tackle. Love the team defense.
Converts on fourth down, and he's still going. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. The Canes come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Got his man. Oh, there might have been trouble if they had knocked him down so quickly. They'll line up for a second down play. While we're only through one, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat line. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. Power football with the run. Got the first down and more. Big pickup on that one. They'll mark him out at the 40.
That's a nice-looking run, man, and what a legacy here when you think about Edgerrin James and Frank Gore, Willis McGahee, Clinton Portis, game breakers at the running back position. This guy, he seems like he's destined to play on Sunday.
He'll take a shot. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
Well, we know this offense hasn't been able to get it going on the ground so far in this game. Now they're trying through the air, but give this defense credit. They've got a really good game plan. They've got all 11 guys on that side of the ball. Execute.
Makes a catch at the 15. A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11. That big play really has them in business. It's 1st and 10 from the 11. They'll leave it with him. They'll wrestle him down at the 4-yard line after that run. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Give to the running back. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run.
And this is the area of the field where it gets really, really tough. Because the red zone, you know you got to run the football more. Well, this defense is #1 in the nation against the run. So I look for this offense to be more physical, be creative, try to find ways to run the ball against this defense that is so dynamic.
Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception.
And you will always remember your first. And how about that? Breaking on the football, getting an INT, the first INT. Keep the football, brother. The first of many big-time plays for this guy.
He's got him in the flat. And that is a nifty bit of navigation to get through that traffic and get the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll give it to the back. Strong run to get it out to the 21-yard line. They pick up a 6.
Love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Back to pass, it's Cornelius. Gets it out fast. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38. We wind inside 4 minutes to play in the half. Looking to throw on first down. Finds his tight end. Boy, that was a precision play all the way around. Throw, catch, tackle, bang, bang, bang.
I'll tell you, when you've got a tight end like this, it makes it a lot easier calling pass plays on first down, even if the defense is in zone coverage. He did a really good job there, working his leverage, finding the soft spot, and making it an easy completion.
The Tigers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Working that left side now. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
Guys, how many first downs is that just on this drive alone? I mean, this defense allows 1 or 2 more drives like this, and they're going to be gassed by the third quarter.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. Picks up the first down, still moving. Flying down the right side. Touchdown, LSU! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. There's a reason they call this dude a big playmaker. Moments just like that one.
Big-time playmaker. Can make plays all over the field from all different spots. That's why you got to find ways to give him touches as much as possible because he'll make it happen.
He wisely lets that one bounce through the back of the end zone, and they'll take over at the 25. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. That deficit has now grown to double digits, down 17-7 as they start this drive. Quickly to the tight end. He'll be stopped and forced out of bounds. Mark it at the 47-yard line, and this offense is going to work. One big play to get it up near midfield. Now they're in business at the 40. Looking for a deep man. Grabs it inside the 10. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Canes.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Handoff to the single running back. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
They'll go to the ground. Not much he could do there. Does pick up 2 to the 34.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
This is one of the top 10 offenses in the nation in getting first downs. To do that, you got to have balance. You can't always throw for it on third down. You've got to be able to run it as well. And they've got a dude in the backfield who just knows how to move the chains.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Fired just a little too long as the junior frustrated he missed that connection. Not sure exactly what went haywire there, but the timing was just off.
And that's your job as a defense, right? You got to find a way to disrupt the timing and jam wide receivers or get to the quarterback and make him feel uncomfortable, but you can't let that timing be easy and effortless. Nice job by the defense.
And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play. They'll take this lead to the 2-minute timeout and see if they can tack on a little more before the break. Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 40. They'll send the back in motion. Looking downfield, it's Cornelius. Swings it out to the flat. They bring him down at the 44-yard line. It'll be 4th down, but this might be prime go-for-it territory. Around midfield, go for it. This isn't 1930 football. Try to get the first down. They're throwing for it on 4th down. Good timing on the quick out. Guys, you never want to sound the upset alert bell too early, but might be time to at least know where the button is for it.
Know where the button is, and listen, there's no need to panic yet, but if you're the unranked team, just like this, we're replaying a bet.
And the Heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
And that is priority number 1 for defenses. Get to the quarterback, affect him, get hits on him. They do it right here. Get their first sack of the game. Last game, by the way, last time out, they had 5. Let's see what this defense can continue to do.
Fires to the big fella. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size. Ball's at the 47. They're looking at a 3rd down and short. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got an open man. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
The Tigers will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Right through his hands, incomplete. I think he knew he had a chance for a big play, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
Looking for a path to the end zone to the right. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on 3rd down.
Wide receiver comes in motion. Looking to the end zone on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Tigers! Fitted in the window for the score.
You know, there's so many coaches out there in 2-minute situations at the end of the half with a lead that'll just be happy taking the lead into halftime. This guy's staying aggressive, though. Pedal to the metal, David, and you saw it paid off there for the touchdown.
Yeah, and let's finish this half now. Now, we got a nice lead. Built a little bit of a lead, but the defense has to go back out there. There's still a little bit of time, so get that stop to keep that momentum you just got, and everybody will be jacked up at halftime.
This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Starts a drive trying to go up top. Quick strike complete.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on 1st down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Back to pass. Finds his big tight end. They'll get him down at the 48 after the 15-yard gain. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Fires one high and deep. He's got it. They will score. Touchdown, Miami.
Well, the head coach has to love what he saw from his offense here at the very end of the first half when you got to have it. Execution has got to be great in these 2-minute type situations. Really nice job handling the situation, by the quarterback, making sure all 10 other guys on offense are on the same page. And they're still losing the football game, but that's a touchdown they absolutely needed to have here at the end of the first half.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. Looking downfield, it's Cornelius. Buying some time. Right down the middle. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. They finally make the stop. That's going to make those halftime stats look a little bit nicer as we head to the break. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Hurricanes will kick it away to crank up the second half. Looks like he's going to bring it out. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They'll open the second half on the ground. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle.
Those are the kind of plays in the second half you have to make. This back has had plenty of success. He's gotten a lot of touches. Now, defensively, we got to show him things are about to be different.
On target over the middle. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. And yet another Bayou Bengal baller on the outside who can just go get it.
And if I'm a quarterback, man, I love throwing to these guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to fit it in the box. I know my receiver out wide will make plays. LSU has had guy after guy after guy that you can name that can do that, and they might just have another one.
Off the play fake. Wide open downfield. And that's where they'll mark him, but a very productive play, and they'll move the chains. LSU moving the ball quickly down the field.
It's really easy to be a quarterback in an offense that runs the football and then...
Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
As a quarterback, it's no fun playing against 3-4 defenses when they can get pass rushes from the interior of their defensive line. How can you complete throws against this defense if you can't step up into the pocket?
Trying to burn this defensive back. And he's got it inside the 30-yard line. And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21. And the Tigers had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch. They use those back-to-back explosives to set him up first and goal. Dropping back, it's Cornelius. Looking to get it in. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Looking for just one more yard. It's second and goal. Trying to barge their way in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tigers!
Another rushing touchdown. That's now 2 on the game. This offense thought they could come into this one running the ball, being the more physical team, and they look like it right now.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, guys, got a final score in a big top 25 matchup today. Clemson made it look easy, but I promise you, there is nothing easy about a double-digit win on the road. And a win like this only confirms there is something special brewing with these Tigers. A collision between ranked teams always impacts the big picture, fellas, and it appears that's the case again today.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place trying to help their defense. He's going for the big play. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Unloads to the wideout. Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. The critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
Finds a man in the middle. He'll get a fresh set of downs, stopped at the 31-yard line. And the Hurricanes have it with a 1st and 10. They'll leave it with the lone back. They get him at the 42, but he picked up 10 there.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down, gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. And the Canes trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Snagged out of the air. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge third down coming. From the gun, wants to pass. Zings it complete to the right. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm. Just didn't seem like the quarterback and his intended target were on the same page there.
And the Canes are at the line trying to move the sticks on third and short. They just keep firing. It's on target and complete. Offenses gain momentum with third down conversions like that. They've got it at the 25. Looking downfield on first down. Quick completion on the out. He's guided out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 6-yard line, and this defense has to be reeling. First and goal, and this feels like their chance to give them a finish. They'll try to get it in with the run. Trying to move the pile into the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 2. These fans raising the volume on second and goal. Tries again to get it in. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater.
And this offense, you're halfway home. All you got to do is do the same exact thing, Palmer. Fall forward and be physical here.
And that's why they practice these goal line situations, right? It's to step up and be physical in moments like this.
Tight end finds a soft spot. Touchdown, Hurricane! They get it into the end zone to pay off that opportunity.
Defenses at some point are going to have to figure out how to slow this guy down because he already has 3 receiving touchdowns. We're only 4 games into the season. Nobody has an answer for this guy.
Now to make sure this kickoff team covers it well to not give back that last score. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Leaves it with the back. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Here comes the heat. He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. And what a time that would have been for their first pick of the game.
And last week was great for this young man. But, man, again, showing you he can do it at a high level. Just working the whole field, using different guys. He is absolutely on fire right now.
Give to the running back. He did not make it a stone wall on third down.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a baller.
On fourth down, he'll try to toss it. And they can't connect. A costly turnover on down.
And the offense stays aggressive. They try to throw the football and just weren't on the same page. It was an incompletion. He could have done a better job, I think, throwing the ball to his receiver and maybe making it where it's more of a 50-50 ball where he can make a play. Defense gets the big stop.
Got his man quickly. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but makes life really easy on me on second down.
These guys have staggered around a little bit in this one. It would be a really good time to get things going if they want to hold off the upset bid.
But they're the favorite for a reason.
It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. He gets it all the way out to the 19-yard line, a pickup of 6. We've been treated to an aerial show by these two guys so far as you check out their numbers. 1 quarter to go, and Mike, we have the makings of a classic fourth-quarter finish. And a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. To the air, it's Cornelius. He's got him. Gets away from one. He's got space. The 40. At the 30. The 10. Touchdown, Tiger. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him. Like a Thanksgiving turkey. They're just being caught. No shot. They have no idea how to get in this quarterback's head.
He's on fire. Everything he's doing is working defensively. We got to figure something out. We got to try to do something a little bit different. Bring more pressure. At this rate, shoot, he's on so much fire. You might as well just send everybody. Blitz everybody. Live with the results because everything else ain't working anyways.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. They're in a precarious spot here, that lofty perch in the range. Going for the big play. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day.
It doesn't get any better for your defense. You know exactly the situation in the 4th quarter. Everything in your favor. Don't let them make big plays. How about you make a big play? Nice job getting the interception. It's not icing on the cake yet, but it's getting pretty close.
Well, tip your hat to the defense getting that incompletion because that hasn't happened often for this guy. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. Can the defense continue to mix things up? See if they can maybe confuse this QB.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the 2nd down misfire. And the defense jumps on it. They get that turnover.
Man, you go from perfect position of strength. I get to salt this clock away. I get to run this out. I'm going to win to, man, now I got to put my defense back on the field, and anything can happen, right, in football, and you can catch breaks, and so now you got to go out and earn it. You had this thing under wraps.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Knocked down at the 25-yard line, picked up 10 there, and gets a first down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Wants to throw on first down. Throws to the wideout. And they took a shot on that one, but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete. They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. Wants to throw again. Fires to the wideout. Touchdown, Canes! And they take it in for 6 more points. That had touchdown written all over it from the moment he caught the ball. Big play, big run for the score.
Yeah, it had touchdown written all over it because nobody was covering it. It'd be a good idea to get a hand on him. You know, listen, I know you guys got some speed, and maybe you give him a cushion and give him some space, but that was a little aggressive on the space department there.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. The returner will field it and bring it back. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over, they turn it into points. Jesse, that is not a recipe for success.
Good news, though, they get another chance, right? They can make amends with this drive right here. That's all that's important. You've got to execute, and you've got to lock in.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. They're going to test the right side with this one. Able to pick up a couple before he's dragged down at the 19.
And this is a pressing time for this defense. They've got to understand, they're backed up a little bit. They're going to run the football. They don't want to make a mistake. So I think this is the time I'm a little bit more aggressive. I got to get this football back.
And it's picked off. That's the turnover they desperately needed. Touchdown, Miami! And what a turn of events as this defense gets the pick 6.
How about that play by this defense? The offense trying to salt the game away with the lead. Defense makes the biggest play of the ball game, getting the pick, finding the end zone, and taking the lead late in this ball game.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, a couple of ACC teams colliding in a game that could have some implications. Florida State is in the unusual position of having to come from behind right now, but there's not a soul who doesn't believe they can't pull this off. It's a close one right now. They're trailing by 1 to Kentucky. Any big changes in this ACC clash, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Gentlemen?
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick 6, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick 6 and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out and not try to get it all back.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
And you're seeing the pass rush on the second play of the drive. They dial it up. Look at the speed and athleticism this defense has as they corral the quarterback for a loss.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. They'll run the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
That's perfectly fine. If I'm a defense, I'm going to give up some yards right there. Play deep. React to shallow. The running back catches the football. I come up. He gets a positive gain, but it doesn't matter because now I won 3rd down and forced him on 4th down.
Down a possession here in the fourth, and they'll need to convert on this fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game.
I'll tell you, man, analytics in college football now are changing the way coaches think about down and distances. And listen, I know there are probably some metrics out there that say you should go for it in that situation because the percentages are telling you you got a good shot at keeping the football and keeping possession. That time, though, they're not able to come up with it. And they've now given up the football with their backs to the wall. The defense now is going to have to dig them out of this hole.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Runs through the tackle. He's there to make the stop, but not before. He sets up this offense first and goal from the 7.
It's got to be tough right now on defense. You need to find a way to get a stop, and you haven't been able to do that in the fourth quarter. You've been giving up points. You just gave up a touchdown in the last drive. You need a turnover. You need to do something right now to stop this momentum.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Caught. Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Hurricanes. Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score. They extend the lead here in the fourth, and after stumbling early, about to push their record to 3-1. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. That fourth down gamble didn't pay off on the last drive, and it led to giving up a scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and everybody wants to go for it on fourth down. Everybody wants that, but your defense sometimes has to bail out your decision-making. We decided to go for it. We didn't get it. The defense, Jesse, didn't come up big and prove me right.
Yeah, not complimentary football, no doubt. But look, this offense has been in these situations before, so you got to come back out here, take the field. It's a fresh set of downs, brand new drive. Let's go out and execute with some points on the board.
That last completion sets him up on second down. Back to throw, it's Cornelius. Got it in the middle, it's Lincoln. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Slants against man. That wide receiver has to win right now at the line of scrimmage against that DB playing man coverage. Quarterback, timing with the wide receiver, put it on the money. Wide receiver's probably still going to get hit too and got to hold on to that thing.
Here's a heat. And just too much on that pass. Too high, too wide, out of bounds and incomplete.
I understand the sense of urgency for the offense now because you're trailing here by a lot in the fourth quarter, and you're just trying to take a shot to see if you can get on the board and get some of this momentum back. But the problem is the defense understands that, so they're playing coverage, and they're doing a good job on the back end. Nice job forcing the incompletion.
LSU with the 1st and 10 here. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. To the air on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
Unloads to the wideout. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming.
And you just got to know the situation of the game, obviously. After that incompletion now setting up third down, you still got timeouts. You can attack the middle of the field. It's all out there for you. There's no need to panic. Because of those timeouts, you still have an eternity to get back in this game.
They needed a big play, and they got it. And the foot down for the first down.
Hey, you know, the defense here in this situation with a huge lead, they've got to anticipate that this offense is going to be trying to throw the ball to the sideline, so they've got to work different coverages to try to force the quarterback to go over the middle of the field with the football.
And they make the stop, and this offense has it inside the 5, and they are threatening. Big fella moving. He's all the way down to the 2-yard line, just spectacular execution there. Back to throw, it's Cornelius. And it's grabbed for the late touchdown. And how about this? It's not over yet.
And listen, still a ways to go, but great job by this offense getting you back in the ball game. Now, we got a one-possession game. We've got our score. We did what we're supposed to do. Now, how do we get this stopped? Now, the defense has to come up big and get me the rock back.
He's got it in the end zone for the 2 as they draw a little closer. They put together a 74-yard touchdown drive. Just under a minute and a half to play, and to have a shot, you got to believe they have to recover this onside kick. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football. Out of bounds at the 24-yard line after the huge pickup. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. One-possession game, getting late, first order of business, just take care of the football.
So they call this situation 4-minute offense, where you're trying to run the football and throw high-percentage passes to maintain possession and bleed the clock. This is a very difficult point of the game to execute at a high level, though.
Yeah, and listen, what you understand as an offense is if I get 1 or 2 first downs, this ball game's over. And that's your...
Touchdown, Caves! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row.
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. To the air, it's Cornelius. Throws for the tight end. Got him downfield. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. The Tigers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Under fire. A little release to the back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
They're just trying to sneak the back out to the right side there, but great job tackling on defense against the guy who's hard to bring down once he has the ball in his hand.
Throws to the wideout. A strike downfield. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33. The upset's been bubbling all day. Now at a full-fledged boil. Guys, see if they can finish it off.
Can the underdog hold on? That's the big question right now. They've done so many positive things in this game, David, to put themselves in position to win, but this is the critical moment where your execution has got to be at its best.
And sometimes you start thinking now, and you start letting that clock tick, and you stop kind of playing carefree. Keep doing what you've done all day long to build the lead, finish this thing out, pull off the big upset. And this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time when you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
Defense will use a timeout. 22 seconds remaining in the game. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. D showing blitz. They might be bluffing. Back to pass on 2nd down. Oh, they're after him. Hit as he throws. And the pass is incomplete. Jarred loose by the hit.
And quarterback's accuracy goes way down when you start to get him on the move. And you want to make it go way down even further? Pop that sucker. Nice job making him move, scramble out to his left, and then getting a good clean stick on him. That's 2 things he has to think about on one play.
And the deflection by the defense brings up 4th down.
And that is a frustrating possession for this offense. You wanted to run the football, maybe take some time. You did the opposite. Got in a bad situation, threw the football, stopped the clock. Not how you manage a game late in the fourth quarter.
They'll keep the offense on the field on fourth down already with a one-possession lead. It's incomplete, and the defense comes up with a stop.
What a great stop in a big moment for this defense. Nice job getting the stop. Now listen, the ball goes back to the offense, and this has a chance now to be a great finish. That was a clutch stand for this defense.
Leaves it with the running back. Ran right through the defender, and now he's still running. They get the timeout, and the clock reads 3 seconds. The Tigers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Wants to adjust the pattern. Some early movement along the offensive line, and they'll walk it back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Second down coming up. Looking to throw, it's Cornelius. Fires deep toward the end zone. It's incomplete, and the last chance is just out of reach, and that's going to do it. It came down to the final quarter. Clutch plays, guys delivered, and they get the close win.
Yeah, Reese, big-time players make big plays in big games, and that's what happened in this circumstance. As a coaching staff, David, you love this. You know that you have confidence in your guys to go out and be able to execute when it matters the most.
Correct, and you don't know until the games, right? You don't know when those moments present themselves. How are they going to handle it? Great job handling a close game, executing down the stretch like they needed to.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.